Autumn leaves were leaving first, before we knew their names. We sat inside a quiet cafe, counting sugar grains. Your gaze kept drifting, someplace I could never trace. I felt the distance bloom like frost across your face. Every laugh grew softer, every pause grew long. I held our fate in echo, pretending nothing's wrong. Before the goodbye even happened, I watched the colors drain from every word you hadn't said. Kept holding on to daylight while the night moved in instead. I lost you in the silence that the future never penned. Before the goodbye even happened. Tickets on the table for a movie we won't see. Your phone lit up like warnings of a world without me. Your smile was an apology you couldn't phrase aloud. I memorized the moment, then let the lights go out. If endings start with whispers, ours began in empty eyes. I heard the door inside your heart close softly, no surprise. Before the goodbye even happened, I felt the tear between us like a seam that came undone. Stood waving at a train I knew would never really run. The future played in black and white where Technicolor spun. Before the goodbye even happened. I leave our cups half empty on a table by the glass and walk into the ending that arrived before the last. Bus windows blurred the city into watercolor scenes. I kept rehearsing sentences you'd never get to read. In every passing reflection, I watched you mouth my name. A screenplay in my head where every line just sounds the same. Thought I heard your laughter ride the evening breeze, but it was only paper leaves rustling in the trees. All the words I made up for you, like postcards from a world where every wish comes true. I wrote 1,000 conversations in the quiet of my room. All the words I made up float away like balloons. Coffee ring galaxies on notebooks full of dreams. Your silence was the canvas for my fever-bright extremes. I framed each pause between us as a promise yet to be. Built a novel out of glances only I could see. If fiction is a fortress, then maybe I'll step out. Let honest air dismantle all the stories made of doubt. All the words I made up for you, echo softly in the dark like morning rendezvous. I'll set them free at sunrise, watch them fade into the blue. All the words I made up were only ever true for me and you. Pages close, the daylight grows, and silence finds its hue. Goodbye to all the words I made up for you. Cafe lights were whispered thin, the evening slow and warm. You trace circles on your cup, a silent thunderstorm. Your eyes flick to the door, then back to restless hands. And in that hush I heard 1,000 unspoken plans. No syllables escaped, but vows hung in the air between the pauses and the sighs. I swore I found you there. You never said it, but I heard everything. The tremor in your breathing, the longing in the ring of quiet clocks and distant cars outside. Your silence played a melody my heart could not hide. Street lamp glow on midnight glass, soft shadows on your face. You smiled like you were somewhere else. I followed just in case. A gentle tilt of shoulders, a heartbeat in your sleeve, told stories of a love that even words could not conceive. If truth arrives in decibels, I might have listened wrong, but every muted heartbeat felt exactly like a song. You never said it, but I heard everything. The quiver of goodbye behind the fragile grin. I'll keep the notes that never touched your tongue and hum the quiet symphony where all our what if sung. You never said it, but I heard everything. Quiet bar at closing time. Last piano chord hangs thin. Glasses clink like distant bells. The night presses us in. Your coat against the darkness, my breath a faded line. Every step between our hearts a ghost of what was almost mine. Streetlights hum in minor thirds. I hear them call your name in alleys where our silence grew. The echoes sound the same, echoes of a could have been, ringing down the avenues of never might have been. Every sigh against the window, Every dream we left unseen, all that's left are echoes of a could have been. Train rails hum beneath the frost, the city slips to gray. I trace our lost coordinates in breath against the pain. Your laugh still cracks the thunder in a storm that never fell. I keep the taste of words undone, too fragile then to tell. If time could spin its vinyl back to moments on the brink, would we still drown in maybe, or find the missing link? Echoes of a could have been, turning corners of my memory, whisper thin. Though the future's moving forward, past is burning evergreen, still I walk with echoes of a could have been. Fade to hush, the record ends, dawn drips through window seams. I hum along to empty rooms, alive with silent dreams.
strikes 12, street lamps hum, your avenue asleep. I wander past the corner store where summer secrets keep. Faint perfume of jasmine vine still lingers on the brick. Every breath reminds me how the night once felt electric. Your laughter's in the echoes of the shuttered liquor stand. I trace our names in sidewalk cracks that curl like desert sand. Midnight on your sidewalk, air tastes just like then. Moonlight paints your shadow on the street I walk again. I chase the fading footprints that the morning will rescind. Midnight on your sidewalk, where my memories begin. Rusty bike against a gate, its chain a lullaby. Neon flickers open, though the cafe's closed and dry. Traffic lights turn amber, but no taxis pass me by. Only ghosts of conversations drift beneath the sky. If time could play, I'd freeze this quiet scene. Hold the pulse between our steps and color every dream. Midnight on your sidewalk, heartbeats in the rain. Every dull lamp halo whispers softly of your name, until the dawn dissolves the spell and birdsong ushers in. I'll live inside this midnight where our stories still begin. Street lights dim, a window spins, a record I can't hear. Midnight on your sidewalk keeps me closer to you near.
Traffic lights kept switching, yet we both stood still. Words got caught in amber, hanging heavy, almost real. Your hand brushed mine by accident, then floated back again. A silent metronome that counted moments we suspend. Breaths between our sentences grew longer than the night. Every pause a fragile echo, holding on too tight. Pause between us, time forgot to flow. Two hearts in the middle of a half-remembered glow, caught inside a frame where silence feels enough. Pause between us, too close to call it love. where I spelled out a question that my lips could never trace. So we let the quiet settle, filling up the empty space. Maybe one small word could turn the key and start the song. But we got the perfect moment by just holding on too long. Pause between us, minutes slip away, frozen on the edge of everything we meant to say. If forever lives inside a breath we never took, leave it pause between us, unrisen like a book. Fade to black, the record ends, yet silence still rewinds, playing back the pauses where our futures intertwine. Morning light on your laughing face, I held my breath, heard my heart misplaced. Every kindness you gave me for love, thought the universe had lined us up above. But the echo in the hallway said slow, while my daydreams kept shouting go. Smiles I misread, corners of your lips, painted promises that never left your fingertips. I drew a sky inside my head. Now I'm tracing clouds of blue and red over smiles I misread. Coffee steam curling like hope in the air, I rehearsed 1,000 lines, you were unaware. Your silence louder than songs on repeat, still I danced alone to an unfinished beat. Maybe in another scene you'd lean and whisper stay, but reels keep rolling past the frame where I press play. Smiles I misread, pages never turned, midnight letters sealed with lessons I have learned. If we were almost, let it be said, I leave my love in words unsaid, and the smiles I misread. Late July boardwalk, lemonade and vinyl heat. You laughed at melting ice cream running past your feet. Sunlight tangled in your hair, like ribbon colored gold. In that instant, every secret in my heartbeat was foretold. Seabirds drew our names across an endless sky of blue. One quick photographs, now every August feels like you. That summer, that smile, stole the whole horizon, held my world a while. Every sunset after never looked the same. Since that summer, that smile, and the way you said my name. Nighttime Ferris wheel, fireworks on the pier. You traced a comet with your finger, whispered make it near. I tucked the spark behind my ribs, a lighthouse in the haze, guiding every lonely season back to those 2 days. If seasons spin in circles, I'll chase the carousel to catch a single second where your laughter used to dwell. That summer, that smile, keeps rewinding daylight down a moonlit mile. Though the tide erased our footprints from the sand, I still feel that summer, that smile, holding my hand. Crickets fade, the night rolls in, but memories compile. Endless songs about that summer and your stolen smile.
Sidewalk cracks, the city humming low. You tossed your head in laughter, spilled like indigo. Street corner saxophone was slightly out of tune, but every shaky note felt perfect next to you. That moment flickered brighter than the signs along the way. I swear the moon leaned closer just to hear you play. The way you laughed that night turned midnight into morning, colors, shadows into light. I keep replaying every spark inside my mind. The way you laughed that night became a lifetime. Taxi lights were orbiting like satellites in spin. You traced a constellation on a paper napkin grin. I read it like a prophecy I never understood, because one burst your laughter made the ordinary good. If echoes live forever, I will follow every trail back to where your laugh cut through the dark like silver hail. The way you laughed that night still rings beneath my rib cage, keeps the restless world bright. If everything must fade with coming morning's quiet white, let me keep the sound. You laughed that night. City sleeps, the record skips, but I still hear it right, hanging in the hush, the way you laughed that night. Cotton candy daylight melting on your hair. We chase the fading sun as if forever waited there. Salted breeze and Polaroids, sand between our shoes. Every laugh a snapshot I can't bring myself to lose. Clouds were painted vanilla, soft as whispered vows. You traced a heart upon the sky, still beating somewhere now. Vanilla sky memories, pastel tinted promises drifting on the sea. First and final chapter written in that golden gleam. Vanilla sky memories, still color in my dreams. Boardwalk lights ignited while the coastline hummed goodnight. You said the air smelled like beginning's edge in light. I bottled up the moment in a shell beside your feet. Now it sings a distant echo every time our seasons meet. If sunsets have a doorway, I'd step back through the hue to watch that creamy skyline turn our future into truth. Vanilla sky memories, frozen on the watercolor wind above the keys. Though tomorrow scattered footprints far across the stream. Vanilla sky memories keep softly guiding me. Day dissolves to starlight, waves rewrite the shore. But under every dusk-washed cloud I see us once more. You passed a sugar packet, smiled and asked my name. Sunlight in the cafe window set my heart aflame. One small act of kindness, I filed it under fate. Wrote whole chapters in my head before we'd even shared a date. Your casual see you later sounded like a vow. Funny how a lonely heart can twist a word somehow. When kindness felt like love, I painted stars on every side. Built a future out of nothing, let my hopes outrun the sky. I was reading constellations in the steam of paper cups, all because your gentle kindness felt like love. You held the door a second, I heard bells begin to ring. Brought me tea when lines were long, meant more than anything. I rehearsed goodnight messages you never asked to hear. Filled the spaces you left empty with a voice that sounded clear. If I had learned to breathe before my daydreams overgrew, maybe I'd have seen the difference between caring and I do. When kindness felt like love, I chased reflections in your eyes. Turned a blanket offer into lifelong lullabies. Now the lesson in the ashes is to love myself enough to know the beauty of your kindness isn't love. kindness drift like petals through the hush.
Sunday night cafe lights fading out at 2. We traded half-told stories, stirred the sugar, watched it bloom. Your shoulder brushed my jacket, sparked a question in the dark. But sentences unraveled long before they left a mark. Every almost in your eyes kept pulling me to stay, yet every clock inside my chest kept ticking me away. Almost something hanging in between, more than just a daydream, less than what it seemed. We were nothing, yet we felt the pulse of spring. Almost something close enough to sting. Subway doors slid open, cold air filled the car. We hummed along to static like a half-imagined star. Your laughter sketched a future on the window sliding mist. But futures melt too quickly when goodbyes are never kissed. If maybe we're a country, we could build ourselves a shore. Passports made of silence never open any doors. Almost something echoes in my head, spinning like a vinyl on the words we never said. We were nothing, yet my ribs still softly ring. Almost something, forever on the brink. Streetlights blur the night, bus turns, you vanish in the glow. We're a story left unwritten that only almost knows.